Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's the August 15th, 2020 edition of Pro Wrestling Throwdown. Luke the Big Dog Williams to my left. I'm Caleb Black. Our in-studio producer, Max Fury, over yonder in the corner, and we are talking about Smackdown.
You don't put Baby in the corner.
Well, I'm sorry. Baby has to go in the bassinet. How many more B-words can we fit into this segment?
Bitch. Bossa Nova?
Bossa Nova?
Chevy Nova?
Bitchin'! That's right, that's a Turtles reference.
That's right. Yeah.
We're fat nerds. What did you expect? We opened Smackdown with another Retribution recap.
As if we haven't seen enough.
As if we don't know what's going on here.
As if we don't know that the guys in masks really aren't the guys in masks.
Yeah. Then we promo for the Big E John Morrison match, which automatically gets broken up by Retribution.
Foreshadowing? I think not.
Not a whole lot happens. They end up in the back locker room, and the SmackDown superstars rally together to fight the Nexus. To fight Retribution.
And then the NWO scurries away.
And then Kevin Nash pokes Hulk Hogan. Now we're just jerking off.
Yeah.
Now we got our dicks in our hands.
Everywhere.
And we're just jerking off. I gave this segment a 2. I gave it a 2 because I liked the intensity of the SmackDown locker room, the rally segment.
Right. I gave it a 2 as well.
Yeah, they got behind it at least.
At least they did something other than throw a brick through a window. It's sure like Planet of the Apes. Yeah, it's stupid.
Then we go to the Battle Royal. A lot of superstars were featured. Bayley and Sasha introduced them. Lacey Evans, Peyton Royce, Billie Kay,
Naomi,
Nikki
Tamina,
Cross,
Tegan Knox, Shotzi Blackheart.
The whole gang was there.
Basically, everybody you would want to see wrestle her at SummerSlam.
Yeah. Final 2 come down to Asuka and Shayna Baszler, with Asuka taking the win, which means that Asuka is the #1 contender for both women's championships.
So she's going to be Asuka 2 belts.
Asuka 2 belts, yeah. As if I think it would actually be way better if she won one and lost the other.
Agreed.
Like, that's how it should be done. I don't know if that's how they'll do it, but that's what should happen.
What should happen is she should take Bayley's
she should
title.
Take the Raw title back.
See, I think she should take the SmackDown title.
Yeah, and move her to SmackDown?
Only because Sasha Banks has been doing this. Well, if you can beat Bayley. Well, if you can beat Bayley. Well, if you can beat Bayley. Well, you can get a title shot at me, but you have to beat her first.
Right.
Oh, but she'll put her title on the line against you.
Sure!
And this, that, and the other. It just makes total sense.
Yeah. I gave the Battle Royal and the finish a 3 overall.
I gave it 1.5.
I give it a 3 because, again, I'm over on Asuka. She and Shayna had a great small series when they came down to the final 2. I'm also interested to see what they're going to do with Asuka competing for both belts.
I'm not. It's not that I'm not high on Asuka. It's just if you're going to bring in people and call it a tri-branded Battle Royal,
should have featured more NXT superstars.
Right. It should have given somebody an opportunity to actually make a name for themselves at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Rather than
like
the same
Rhea Ripley
woman wrestling twice.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley winning would have been really, really good for her.
Tegan Knox winning.
Even. Well, I would have said Dakota Kai, but she's the #1 contender.
So, because Naomi lost, does that mean that the give Naomi a chance is over with?
Oh no, I think I think fans will still campaign for Naomi.
Or is that Bruce Pritchard's way of saying, yeah, we're listening?
We're listening to the fans.
Yeah.
Couple of promos. They all follow each other back to back. Mandy Rose, Sheamus, and Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Alexa and Nikki reunite, with Alexa being very standoffish towards Alexa. I didn't rate them. Yeah, sorry. Alexa being, yeah. We go into a Sheamus Shorty G match. It was a solid match between 2 wrestlers. I have no complaints about this match whatsoever. Sheamus wins clean with a bro kick, 3 out of 5.
I gave it a 2 out of 5. And the only reason I did is because I think it could have been higher on the card, and I think they could have got more time.
That I completely agree with. The Shorty G is so good, and Sheamus is obviously a very, very experienced vet in a good spot right now. They should be utilizing his skill better. They're not, which is unfortunate. But again, good solid match.
I think I would have liked at least 2 to 3 more minutes.
Yeah.
I think would have told the story a little better.
Yeah.
I do dig that that they're actually letting Gable go out there and work and wrestle, which is great.
Hopefully he returns to being Chad Gable, the Olympic wrestler, instead of Shorty G in his athletic workout gear or whatever the hell.
Right. Well, I gave it a 2.
Yeah.
I a solid 2.
AJ Styles with Chris Park. If you're not familiar with who Chris Park is, he is the Monster Abyss. What did I say?
You said Chris Park.
Isn't that his name?
His character's name is Joseph Park.
Oh, it's Joseph Park. So AJ Styles and Chris Park. No, Joseph Parks, if you're not familiar with who that is the Monster Abyss from TNA. It was awesome to see him on SmackDown.
Yes.
As the statistic, and AJ Styles cannot say the word statistic.
At all.
I don't know why they even gave him that script. It was terrible. Basically, he talks about how no one's earned a shot at the Intercontinental Championship.
Have you ever seen the old cartoon Fat Albert?
Hey!
He reminds me of Mushmouth.
Yeah, he and
a lot of his promos nowadays.
And AJ can talk, which is weird. When you start stumbling over words, it can kill a promo really
I don't
quick.
think they're giving him as... I think he's trying to stick too closely to the script.
Well, yeah.
And that's why it just doesn't fit.
Yeah,
Although,
we
see where this is going.
Yes, Jeff Hardy...
hold on, I want to put this on film because I've done this numerous times.
It's true.
What's going to happen is eventually he's going to get tired of Parks, and we're going to get Abyss.
Which can only lead to one road.
Hell in a Cell,
Abyss,
AJ Styles, and Abyss.
And the payoff for that, Abyss versus Kane, you don't have to think that's a dream match, but I'm telling you, it's a match that when you see it, you'll enjoy.
I'm not going that far with my prediction, but I would love it.
WrestleMania, Abyss and Kane. I know you're watching the program because Damian Priest
Abyss and Kane in an empty arena match.
Fine with it. Book it. Do it right now. Fine with it. Subscribe. Yeah. So AJ Styles during the segment does the whiteboard, reveals the list of names of competitors, the contenders. Obviously, it's blank. Jeff Hardy appears, touting the fact that he never did officially get a shot at the Intercontinental title due to interference by Sheamus. Jeff Hardy assaults the Intercontinental Champion. Jeff Hardy threw the first punch. That's Jeff Hardy's fault. Hits him with a beautiful twist of fate. Overall, though, I gave the segment a 2.
Nobody badmouths Jeff Hardy.
That's right.
I gave it a 1.5. I gave it a 1.5, and the only reason I gave it a 1.5 is because I don't see Jeff Hardy as being the number 1 contender.
I mean, if you look at the fact that he never
it's a cash grab.
If you look at the fact that he never officially got his championship or his championship opportunity on paper,
I get it, but who's he beat?
Well, he eventually beat Sheamus.
Eventually, when it didn't matter. No, I just don't buy him as the number 1 contender. If anybody's the number 1 contender, it's Sheamus.
That I completely agree with.
Yeah.
Speaking of number 1 contenders, Grand Metalik wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura in a singles match representing each of their respective tag teams. Same as last week, good, solid match between 2 professionals. Shinsuke with the win. Also featured the return of Kalisto. Nice little pop at the end. I gave it a 3.
I gave it a 2.
Grand Metalik, we talked about it before here. I'm loving he's getting these singles pushes. I'm loving they're showcasing guys that they wouldn't normally showcase. Well.
Yes, and they're finally emphasizing on how good of a tag team they are.
Yeah, they're not just getting fed to the Raiders every week and getting their heads kicked in, or they're not doing jobs on NXT for big tag teams that they brought in over from the UK. They're getting to work, and you have to respect that. You have to like that as a wrestling fan. That's why they got a 3.
And the international flavor of it. You know, you've got now that the New Day's out. Excuse me. Now that the Usos are out. You're actually being able to put the emphasis on the tag teams that are kind of the workhorse tag teams, the ones that you don't really get to see showcased every week. And since then, I mean, Grand wrestled AJ for the IC title.
Yep.
And then he wrestled Shinsuke and popped the win for that. Dude's on a streak, man.
Yeah, agreed. We're going to a Matt Riddle promo in which he and Shorty G kind of patch things up, and then Matt Riddle gets attacked from behind by Baron Corbin. I like that Baron Corbin calls him Chad on the way out.
Yes.
I love that Chad Gable's... The promo he delivers to Riddle when he was like, that's not me, I don't attack people, and then the look on his face after Corbin left meant that what Shorty G did was genuine. And again, I hope it's just setting up for him.
Or was it?
I hope it's just him setting up to becoming Chad Gable again. I gave the segment a 2.5.
I gave the segment 1.5.
Alexa...
for Riddle and his bare feet.
Don't get me started. Alexa Bliss, Stockholm Syndrome promo where she talks about how impressive the Fiend's aura is. Mm-hmm. Talks about how her friendship with Braun Strowman was so pure and so perfect.
And could have been more.
Blah, blah, blah. I gave it a 1.
I gave it a 2.
I just don't care. I don't care how she feels about Braun Strowman.
Again, I gave it a 2 because I thought this was the go-home league. Honestly, I mean, everything this week seemed like the go-home.
Oh, yeah, especially, the ending of Smackdown, which we'll get to. Sonya Deville promo, she didn't really say anything except promoting a match with Mandy Rose.
Hair versus
hair, don't care. John Morrison versus Big E. I've got mixed emotions about this match. That if we had focused on the match the whole time, instead of the camera cutting back looking for retribution, instead of panning over to The Miz, instead of panning to the locker room around the ring, this match would have gotten a much higher rating. But because it was just a little bit of wrestling, locker room, a little bit of wrestling, retribution, a little bit of wrestling, Miz, a little bit of wrestling, locker room again,
Dude on the toilet.
2 out of 5.
I give it a 2. Of course, there was too much going on. Too many hands in the kitchen.
Yeah, too many cooks.
Yeah.
Big E did take the win, so that's nice. Oh, by the way, Shinsuke Nakamura beat Grand Metalik in the match previously mentioned.
Yeah.
Also, we come to the end of the show, which features Braun Strowman, and again, a gravelly, deep, monstery, definitely Vince-written promo about how he's going to feast on the Fiend's entrails.
Christian Bale Batman voice.
Then Alexa Bliss comes out and slaps the piss out of him several times. He threatens to gorilla press her out of the ring. The thing that kills me is that she's not screaming, she's not moving, she's not fighting back, and obviously she's posted, so she can't, but she could do something to make it seem as though she's in real danger.
I actually was thinking about that myself as we were watching it, and I noticed that he had his hand placed very well on her throat, which, as we know, she's just supporting her, but it could have looked very clear as to where she could not.
If he'd have picked her up and maybe expanded his hand and had it palmed over her face,
or something. Kicked her feet.
Yeah, something to make it seem as though she's actually in danger.
Just a little bit,
Could have been
because that way you really think like, holy shit, she's freaking out. And then, of course, the Fiend appears in a very cool way. Now the Fiend is protecting Alexa Bliss from Braun Strowman?
I don't know. I don't know how they're going with that. I like the Beauty and the Beast aspect. We talked about this last week.
But it feels like a double turn. It feels like now Braun is the heel and the Fiend's the babyface. And again, this would have been a perfect go-home with the Fiend standing in the ring looking for Braun next week.
Yeah.
So now we have a full week to figure out what the hell they're going to do.
I gave the end segment 2.5.
I gave it a 3. I hated Braun's incessant laughter.
I also hate the fact that he had to breathe 8 times before he said anything.
Yeah, it was awful. Just bad. Maximilian, what were our overall ratings this week for Smackdown?
Gave it a 2 out of 5.
Yeah.
You have stars, Shirley?
Jeff Hardy. I think the twist of fate was nice. I love the intensity he had with AJ, and is the only believable thing on the show.
Luke, you gave it a 1.5 out of 5, and also said Jeff Hardy.
No, I did not.
That's what I have written down.
The dog ate your notes. I don't know what to take. No, Alexa Bliss was the star of the show because she's Alexa Bliss.
That's a good argument.
No, taking that, she had to take some form of a bump.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing, because he did throw her.
Yeah.
Like, he threw her, and that was my favorite part, because when he threw her, it's when the lights went out.
Yeah.
So she just...
So she took the bump.
Yeah. Or there was, they moved in a crash pad in editing or something.
Regardless...
Yeah. The illusion, again, it's Randy Orton punt. The illusion is that he threw her.
Any little tiny woman that would slap a man that size as hard as she could, star of the show.
Yeah. Great. What did you guys think about SmackDown this week? Let us know in the comments down below. After you like and subscribe, send us an email at prowrestlingthrowdown@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/prowrestlingthrowdown. And don't go anywhere, because NXT is coming up right now.